welcome to Off the Record with P.C. Ramakrishna, a person who can be heard before he's seen.
Right.
And I've had the pleasure of working with him. I've known him for many, many years. And I'd like to share the story of how we first met. Mithran Devanesan was doing this play, Mahesh Dadani's play called Dance Like a Man. And that was my first play. I was really nervous and gawky, and we were in rehearsals. And when I got to know that P.C. Ramakrishna was going to be a part of the cast, I was terribly intimidated too. I mean, that's an understatement.
I'm so sorry, belatedly.
But wasn't that a lovely experience?
Yeah, it was. It was a terrific play. In fact, many ways I think it's Mahesh's best.
So we had a wonderful cast. We had Bhagirathi, who we miss now, Karthik Iyer, who lives in Bangalore.
The stand-up routines.
Yeah. But tell us how you got into theatre. I know it started with the Loyola Dramatic Society. Is that how?
No, it started with collegiate theatre. I did theatre in school and college. And in 1969, I was invited to direct the first play of Loyola that came out of college into museum theatre. So it was a very big thing for Loyola to come out of Bertram Hall. And they did an all-male play. It's a World War I play called The Long, the Short and the Tall. And they asked me to direct it, which I did. And during the play, I met this lady called Ammu Matthew, who was a professor of physics at Women's Christian College, and also this president of the Madras Plays at that time. So I met her and she invited me for a reading. So in 1969, I read 4 Madras Plays and I did my first play with them.
And what was it like to be a director at such a young age?
That was the first and the last play I directed. I directed at the point of a gun because my old principal said, you better direct the play. And I don't possess the skill. And I've said this on several other occasions. Directors require special skills. They need to visualize the play in its entirety, visualize the position of each scene in the play and what characters do, how they develop. The play I directed was a reasonable success from a collegiate theatre point of view because a captive audience of parents and friends and well-wishers. And I realized to my consternation that every one of those characters sounded like me, which was very off-putting. And I realized I didn't have the vision to direct the play. And I've stopped directing after that. I never directed anything to save my life beyond that one.
I didn't want to introduce Ram as the voice of Chennai because that's how he's known. It's a cliche now. But do you think your voice developed because of theatre, or did you always possess a strong voice, or how did your voice come to be? That was what I was
first interested in. I mean, voice has always been the thing that moved me. Even in school, I realize now in hindsight that the Belgian and French and Irish priests who I studied in Calcutta were always giving me things to read on public platforms, or Parents' Day or Rector's Day or Principal's Day. And I remember feeling more than a little irritated as to why I was being given to do this on stage when all my friends were in the audience having a good time. I realize now that they must have seen something in me that was more interested in the spoken word than somebody else.
But the timbre of your voice, I mean, did it develop because of theatre? You think that played an important role?
I think not. I think what the voice you use in theatre is different to the voice you use behind a microphone, which is what I do as a profession. I think for men, the voice has to break evenly, which is a very traumatic period in a man's life. Singers and speakers, men, at a time, when they're about 14 or 15 or whatever it is, their voice breaks. And if a very good singer at 11 and 12 has his voice broken wrongly or partially, he loses everything that there is. All the scholarship that he has, all the ability he has in singing will go because his voice hasn't broken evenly. So also for a speaker. Perhaps I was lucky that my voice broke evenly.
You didn't learn music. I know that you learned the mridangam in Kolkata, but not
No, I'm not. I played the mridangam professionally. I learned for 18 years under Palghat Mani here. And I played at the Music Academy in 1964. I had to take a decision at that time whether music would be my profession or whether I could go into a corporate life, for which I was also ready. I took the easy way out, I think, because at that time there wasn't enough money, in my opinion, in music. My own teacher, the greatest of them all, Palghat Mani Iyer, as an accompanist, was being paid the highest next to a couple of very senior musicians
about
like
400 rupees
which
per
is 450 rupees per concert. And I believed at that time that I couldn't make a living out of that, or didn't have the courage to. So I went into corporate life and was there for 27 years.
I read somewhere that you actually feel a bit envious when you see your contemporaries up on
Yes.
stage playing the mridangam.
Yes, I feel envious. I feel many of them are my contemporaries, are still playing. And I feel envious. I'm only a part of the audience. I feel a little envious looking at them. But it's okay, I've learned to live with it.
You've done so much more. I mean, look at all
I
that
don't
you...
know.
Look
I
at the
don't
number
know
of-
about much more.
No, but look at the number of characters you've portrayed. I think that's very, very fulfilling.
Well, if you ask Mridangam Vidwan today, he'll say, I've played for so many Vidwans. I've traveled all over the world playing for them. Every profession has its own charm. If I had been a musician, I'm sure I would have given it as much commitment as I do to what I do today. Yes, of course I feel a little pinch somewhere in the subconscious. Oh my, it could have been me, but it's not.
But I think people in theatre are very fortunate because you get to become so many other people, you get to portray so many characters, so you live so many lives. Do you
Yes.
feel that way?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the lure of theatre. You are somebody new every day. And if you're doing a play like Adhe Adhure, Mohan Rakesh's, you're 5 persons in the same play, which is given to very few. And yes, it's as much a passion as anything else.
Ram's latest, I mean, the play that he's acting in is Malgudi Days, and you've just come back from a performance in Coimbatore?
Yes, Swami and Friends
Swami
is the
and
play,
Friends, yeah.
adapted from the book. We've performed quite a bit in Chennai, and we were invited to Coimbatore at a very successful show. It's a play that goes very well, 8 to 80, everybody sees it and enjoys it.
I don't have to turn around and say, come back after the break, because that voice is going to keep you there. I know that. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a second.